Let's go.
We're ready. We're rolling. Mike, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we got you right.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know we was
We
going
live. We
live.
live.
we're
Sorry.
live.
Well, that was rough. Welcome back, man. I appreciate you. Anybody that's come check us out. It's really not a fair game. Episode 3. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube if you guys like the content.
It's episode 4.
It's episode 4,
Oh,
Mike.
sorry. Episode 4. My apologies. Clearly, I'm not in the game today. But yeah, if you guys like the content, rock with the content. Subscribe to the YouTube. We're on Spotify as well. Also have Patreon content coming as well to you. Again, I'm Mike Will, myself. Shout out to the Indianimals and the Pacers. Glad the Knicks didn't win anything. Big cities deserve nothing, especially cities like New York.
Wow.
So again, shout out to What the Helly Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers.
Yo, it's your boy Mac Brick, live from Houston, Texas, in the mix. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the Astros doing right now, but hope we doing well. You know what I'm saying? But hey, shit, episode 4, we back. Back in the building.
And I'm Pixie, Queens, New York. And my Knicks lost, and it's okay because I get regular traffic now. Not that bullshit ass traffic I was having for 2.5 months.
Yeah, special shout out to Carl Anthony Towns too. You suck and you helped the Pacers win. But wanted to.
It wasn't only him, but he was asked yesterday.
Hey, they don't deserve anything. But I just wanted to get into that first topic. I've been seeing some stuff on the timeline again. And appreciate if you guys are active in the chat. Definitely appreciate y'all showing up as well. And this was hitting home because, as you guys know, I'm preparing for a wedding that is supposed to be me in that wedding, but it's not going to be on me, unfortunately, because of some terrible decision making I did as a young man. I wonder if she watches this as well. But I've seen Lil Duval. He said, my bad. I'm let me get my glasses on.
Well, Lil Duval said, meet somebody at the
Yeah.
right time is more important than finding the right person. And I believe a little bit of that, sir. I believe in that, Mike.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
I would say, why do you agree with that though, Mac? Out of curiosity.
Man, because I think as us being human beings and just living, you can meet people at the wrong time, you can meet people at the right time. But I think the right time is more important because you might be truly, you might have found yourself, might be at peace, you might be a whole person at the time they found you. Besides you trauma bonding with people, you being like fucked up. I mean, not even fucked up, but just being messed up. Like, it be all type of things like affecting your life at that time, and you just like trauma bonding with people and stuff through various different things.
Yeah, I think you said something key on the trauma bonding for sure. Um, I I think the interesting, like for myself, the interesting part about life is you can find the right person, and they be amazing, but you might not just be emotionally and mentally mature enough to like really give them what they want. Um, so I agree with what Lil Duval said. I think timing is everything in life. I think we actually take that for granted. Just like, it could be the perfect person, perfect situation, perfect job, or whatever, but it's not the right situation. It's not the right timing. So I completely agree. Pixie, I would love to know your thoughts on that.
I agree, but it has an asterisk with it. So it took me a while to kind of understand this. It wasn't until I guess I hit 30 that I heard somebody say this, and I've heard it before, but it kind of hit. It's like, and it's hate to gender this, but it really was this. It's the fact that women wait for the right person and men wait for the right time. And to me, I was just like, wait, what? And it didn't make sense to me. So in other words, it's like, let's say, it's like, and it made sense. Like now, when I look back at all the relationships I had a lot of relationships that the person and I were eye to eye, but it was just not our time. Like it was, passing trains basically. And when sometimes it just happens to be that it's the right time, they're at the right place, they feel everything is good in life. I bet, let's go ahead, let's go ahead and do this, get married, or whatever the case is. And listen, I agree. Like, I agree. I feel like a lot of the time, that's why there's all those stories of the guys who say they let the one get away, and it's literally wrong place. I mean, yeah, wrong. What is it called? Right place or right person, wrong time.
Right person, wrong time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I feel y'all because what you said is very accurate. I think women they are very delusional. They look for the very perfect person, and that perfect person probably isn't. It's not probably out there. Y'all just probably be on a Disney movie, but y'all thinking it's a Disney movie. But for men, we definitely kind of look for like the right time, the right situation. And that happened with me multiple times. I mean, specifically with the young lady who's still a good close friend of mine. She's getting married. She found her soulmate. I don't know why you did that, but yeah, that probably was my position, but I wasn't emotionally and mentally ready in the state where I can give her that full-time commitment happiness that she wanted
Now,
as a 26-year-old male.
I don't want to say it's delusional. I feel like, delusional is a rough way to say it, because there's not a delusion. It's just
women be delusional.
In this situation, let's not say delusion. Let's say that it's more of the fact that they're idealistic, because that's what it is. It's idealistic. They have ideals. They have this like, I want, I want a guy, a guy who comes in a white horse, shining armor, whatever, is going to come and solve all my problems and take me away. And I'm going to drive. I'm going to go off into the sunset, and I'm going to end up barefoot and pregnant for the rest of my life. And that's ideal, right? So they have whatever ideal they have. They almost get married to that point. There's like, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't know, but I'm pretty sure a lot of women can relate to the fact that at the age of 10 or whatever, they had scrapbooks or they had like whatever of literally how their wedding looks like, even before knowing the guy.
Y'all be manifesting men.
Yes. I mean, me personally, I don't. Because I never really, I never did all of that. But I had plenty of friends that they already had the plan, the wedding, everything logged and colors and everything like that before they even got the guy.
Have those been successful, like, relationships when people have formed?
I feel like it's some. Like, I have one, for example. I have one friend of mine, totally, definitely successful. Like, very successful. That she's super happy. They're both happy. They're, but I feel like she was the type of person that she kept trying to, she kissed a lot of frogs to get to him, basically. But she kind of stood her ground. Like, she was
when
like,
you say kiss a lot of frogs, does that mean she was out here being a bop?
Jesus Christ, not Bob. No, she.
Like, what do you mean by kiss a lot of frogs?
In other words, no. Like, in other words, like she was like, how can I say? She went ahead and she started talking. Like, she'll talk to guys and then she'll be like, okay, this is not it. Like, in other words, she'll go ahead and do that. And a lot of the time, she did not go all the way, but she definitely dated a lot. She dated a lot. And then, but it was like, because me and her went to high school together. It would be to the point that the guys would be annoyed. They'll be like, I like her. And then 2 weeks later, she's not into me, or she's like dubbing it, basically. So that's not, to me, that's kissing a lot of frogs.
Yeah, that's bot behavior. Not gonna lie. That means you ain't vet them. You didn't vet them good enough to choose that you want to date them.
But yeah,
real quick, I really had some on the evaluation. Do women really evaluate the men they try to involve themselves in? Because I be thinking I do too much evaluation. I sit back and I try to like peep the scene and see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. At least I do. I do, for sure. I feel like some people don't have good discernment and they just jump into things. But once you kind of understand that what you want exactly, you do evaluate. But sometimes what I feel personally, and when it comes to, again, back to the ideal thing, women over idealize. So they have all these lists of standards that they need. And even if the guy doesn't come, like the guy can go ahead and maybe hit 3 out of 4, but if that one is not,
Yeah, that's what we said. That's why men think y'all are delusional, and the women and men don't understand each other. Like we've been living on this earth since 2000,
Thousand a
three
year.
thousand years now,
Yeah.
and men
Listen,
and
talk
women
about
still
crazy,
don't
man.
understand each other
500 years.
because women are a bit more delusional, especially when they're younger. I believe. I think as they get older, they come to be a little bit more realistic. But when as men age, we start to realize like, yo, it's important for us to find that right person, or how this person fit with me, because it could be the right time. And women, if I find a chick that's 75% out of 100 and she only got one negative thing, as long as it's not one of my things that's like a big non-negotiable that I just refuse to do, I'm probably gonna settle down with that woman, ideally.
I feel like that's where it's like, I said this, you've heard me say this before, but that's where I say that men love unconditionally and women love with conditions. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like it's interesting because I feel like if, like, when it comes to me, this is how I feel. If men and women were to put down their egos and put down the, basically put down their weapons and understand that they're a lot more in some things when it comes to love and everything like that and finding the right person, they're a lot more alike than they would like to admit. They, that it actually would work out, because the whole thing is men love unconditionally. In other words, doesn't matter, like, I'll go to the ends of the earth if they really fuck with a girl, like if they really rock with her, like they'll go ahead and they'll love and love and they'll love hard, versus a woman will kind of like, okay, this guy has been doing this, but this thing is going on right now, it's a rough patch, and they'll get really hell-bent on the rough patch, not trying to look, not always getting caught up in the now versus looking at the bigger picture. So you kind of have to have a certain level of maturity to understand that, like, and worried also, like, oh, the guy's looking in the other way or whatever. Like, instead of just looking at the bigger picture, like, yo, if the guy really, like, likes me, he really rocks with me, he loves me unconditionally, obviously he's willing to give me the ideals that I want as well, because he's willing to make me happy.
Hell no, hell no. See
This
that's
man,
no, get the fuck out of here.
Mac,
See,
am I
that's where
wrong?
go ahead, Mac. I owe you $1. That's when y'all hoes kind of lose me with that shit. Like I said, like we could just make it on simple terms. If a motherfucker if they pass 4 out of 5 of your things, that's an 80%. That's usually like a B, but sometimes a C, depending on what school you went to. If you can get a B out of a nigga, you probably should take that. Some of y'all ain't getting none better than that. Yeah, everybody be trying to say, "Oh, don't settle." Well, you gonna settle, and you're gonna be alone and dead.
But you're
And
not
not like how
listening to me.
women
You're not listening to
like
me. I
how
said,
it work.
yeah, like,
Oh
you're not
man,
listening to me. I'm saying that obviously there's the guy. If he loves me hard, right? He loves me to the ends of the earth, right? And I have this list of ideals. More than likely, he's going to fulfill or want to fulfill, do his hardest to fulfill all those
take that.
ideals.
No, we don't do that more than likely shit. Men don't do that. Men want they want to know for sure, either yes or no. We don't do more than likely.
I'm
Fuck is
saying more
more.
than likely he will fulfill it. Like, he will go ahead and go out
Nah,
of his
fuck that.
way.
Fuck that. You find a nigga that's an 80%, 4 out of 5 out of all the things you want, you should probably cuff him, because some of y'all ain't getting them better than that.
I
Y'all
think our
y'all
friend got
not y'all not
Mac,
5 out of 5
he's not
bitches.
listening to me. Do you get where I'm going with this?
I kind of get what Pixie saying. Pixie, this is what Pixie saying, Mike. Pixie saying that you find your chick, right? You really like this chick, right? She got dreams or aspirations, right? You gonna want to help fulfill those dreams and aspirations because you like Shorty that much. You know what I'm saying? And I
Hell
think the
no.
point
Why you couldn't fulfill your dreams before I met you?
she didn't get to the point yet. You know what I'm saying? Like
Like,
You
she, like,
30.
you might have met her in between. She might be like she
yes.
might be on the way. She might not made it there yet. You know
Fuck
what I'm
out
saying?
here.
Like, what about, like, I need to, like, understand, Mike. If you had a girl, the girl that you want, right? And she's like, I want a house this big and this much. You know, where, like I need to know, like,
I don't
you
even
want.
deal with women who think like that.
I'm not talking about like just materialistic. I'm saying that she's like, I want to raise our kids in this kind of house. I want it to be in this kind of
I ain't never
neighborhood.
met a woman like that no more. Nigga, we
Okay.
30 plus, gang. Like the dating pool of that whole, oh, I want a big house and all this. Shorty, your ass done had 3 evictions when I met you. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. At the end of the day, you should just want to
Why are you
stay
talking to
home.
Shorty with 3 evictions?
Hey man, people got to pass. I'm not here to judge. So
Oh my God.
at the end of the day, I'm dealing with a shorty that's realistic. A lot of women, you know, they not realistic. So you just got to find the ones that are realistic. Usually those are, you know, better for you. But I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know it all, but I know enough. So I don't know.
Okay, let me speak from the guy perspective. I think what y'all getting crossed over is Pixie talking about you finding somebody and you're in love and you want to help them achieve their dreams. I think Mike is talking from a point of, hey, I just met this chick, she got dreams and stuff, and hold up, we can't even feel none of that stuff yet because I don't know how you feel about me exactly. You know what I'm saying? You seem like you at a crossroads yourself because you got 3 evictions and you living kind of wild, shorty. You doing things unholy. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, from my perspective, is I meet a shorty, right? Meg Bricks. I pull up to her, I say, hey, what's on your mind? I'm trying to find some time, you know what I'm saying? So I get to
That
know
was a
shorty, you know,
bar.
and I break it down, you know what I'm saying? Once I break down her mind and find out what she really want in life and what she's trying to achieve, then I'm gonna pursue and figure out how can I help her achieve those dreams, right? If I could, you know what I'm saying? But once I figure out that you're not really in the game for me and my aspirations and my dreams, how can we be a team? So I had to leave her on the sideline so she could figure out her dreams. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but that's a little bit different. I'm talking about like you already know, you
No,
already
that was
locked in with
good. I ain't gonna lie.
homegirl.
That was good.
Like I hear where you're going with that, Mac. Like, but I'm saying basically from the experience of like the fact, like, you know, y'all already locked in. If you already, obviously, if the guy is head over heels for the girl, he's locked in with her. They're
No,
locked in.
I get that, right? If I'm locked
Yeah.
in with her, of course, I'm gonna help her achieve anything she wants. Like she cooking, cleaning, feeding the house,
Right.
take care of them dogs. Hey, you get whatever you want. We're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that aspect. But y'all had 2 different point of views. So that's why I'm like, if I'm just meeting you and we just dating for a while, how can
That's
that be
totally different.
possible?
Right.
How can that be possible?
Right. That's
So
very different.
to put a bow on this, right? So Pixie, just wanted to confirm. You said you feel like it's more important to find the right person than the right time.
No. I said I actually agree with the statement that Duval said.
Okay, so we all 3 for 3.
We
That's a
all
good
agree.
agreement.
It just had a little asterisk, and I needed to add that
We didn't need
asterisk.
no asterisk. See, that's the problem with women. We want a yes or no. That's how men brain works. We don't want all this no, we're not doing all
If
that.
I didn't have the asterisk, we wouldn't have had at least 18 minutes of this docket. Okay, we can move on
I'm
to the
just
next
saying.
docket.
Mike, stop pimping on my co-host.
Hey, we here to call a fair game. Shout out to all the fair game members. Merch coming. Shout out
Hey,
Vito.
hey, no, real quick.
Um,
Vito gonna do our
Hey,
merch.
follow the podcast, follow the YouTube, follow the Twitter, follow everything, y'all.
yeah, follow us on the socials. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify. We would greatly appreciate it if you rock with the content. Um, and like I said, we always open to more suggestions and ideas. So, um, I was talking to this girl that I met on an app, right? And I asked her a question the other day, and I was like, where do you want us to go for the first date? And she was telling me a bunch of places that I'm never gonna take her to because it's like I don't even know you. But I asked her a response question. I was like, would you go on the first date to like Miami with somebody? You don't know me from a can of paint. I just met you off an app. We've been FaceTiming and all that. First date, I said I want to take you on a vacation. And she said, yeah, I'll go. And I respond to her, I say, yo, you're not my type of woman because like, mentally you're just irresponsible. I said, you don't know me from a can of paint. I could be like Jeffrey Dahmer Jr. And you just, you gonna go with me to Miami. I could chop you up all types of shit, be on some Dexter type shit, and you want to go with me on Miami. So I said, though she's a very beautiful girl, I said, I don't really need to deal with a woman that's like, a airhead like you. And I respectfully told her, yeah, I think we should stop talking.
No, real quick, Mike. Like some dudes will like money. I think they do stuff like that. Like the first day would be like a vacation on some
Yeah,
shit.
they be
Exactly.
catching bodies too.
But that I'm huh?
Never mind.
He said that they'd be catching bodies too.
Y'all heard about Aaron Hernandez and what he was on? Hey, man.
Hey, after what's going on in the news with Shorty and the other guy, like women gotta be more aware of who they talking to and who they speaking with, and they need to be more just. A lot of vetting got to go on for you guys take a vacation. So I'm not gonna say I agree with like, hey, she need to like jump off the boat and be like, hey, I'm going to vacation with you because you got to do some vetting. You got to understand like who his mama is, who his daddy is, who is this person. But
They don't.
but
I've never met a woman that we was in the talking stage. They never asked me. They have asked me about my parents, but most of them don't. They don't ask that. They ask surface level questions about myself and then want to get to the date.
all right.
As a person that has been offered to go on a vacation, basically a first date, I have said no because I'm scared of getting chopped up into little pieces. But there's plenty of women that do that, and they do exclusively that. And to be honest, that's why they get to do the Dubai kind of situation, everything like that. I feel like you have to have a certain kind of stomach to be able to do that. Just as I feel like women who do sex work, anybody who does sex work, you have to have a certain kind of stomach.
We're not talking about the sex. Like we talking about.
I'm not. But I'm saying that they have to have a similar. How can I say? You have to have a certain kind of stomach. What I mean by that is like you got to be able to be ready for the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. That's where
like how Antonio Brown left them girls, like they came to visit him.
That was their worst case scenario.
Right.
And then they went ahead and they couldn't keep it pee, and then that's what happened. Meanwhile, a girl who could have kept it pee had the stomach for that. That's what I'm saying. There's like women who have that certain kind of lifestyle that have a stomach for it. And I feel like there's levels to it because, there's women that will go ahead and they just know the game. Like, he's willing to trick on me. The whole point of it is that I'm a pretty girl and he gets to go ahead and get his ego stroked by me being there doing whatever the hell he wants me to do. Right. And they'll understand that.
You talking about the girls that go to Turks and get shitted on.
I thought it was Dubai.
They go to Dubai too to get shitted on. You talking about those girls, Pixie?
The girls who go to church?
No, Turks.
Oh, Turks. Oh, yes. I mean, but those I would like to say, yeah, like you have to have a certain kind of stomach for these kind of things. My point is that
imagine if you get shitted on.
You gotta be a savage. You gotta be willing to be a savage, and being a savage, you need to be ready for the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. And the worst case scenario is that you get chopped up into little pieces, like by Jeffrey Dahmer, or the best case scenario is that you get tricked up on, you have this beautiful, luxurious life.
Yeah,
now,
Jeffrey,
okay,
go
real
ahead.
quick, I want to reel it back in. We just talking about a regular person, right? And you offer them like a date, I kind of feel like you kind of like your mind not right because you don't understand like how dangerous this could be. At the same time, I know for men to be trying to flex and be like, hey, shit, I can take you on this date real quick just to get the box. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it just depends on like how that person evaluate themselves. Like I ain't gonna lie, if I'm just meeting you, I'm not taking you nowhere. We going to McDonald's. You're not going to
McDonald's.
You're not doing that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
McDonald's for real.
Get their ass a Happy Meal.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm the nigga that's gonna take you on the ice cream date just to see how you gonna react before I take you to the real thing. Because if you can do the cheap shit, then we can go do the big shit. I'm not gonna take you to the big shit and then try to take you to do the cheap shit. That's retarded.
I like your program. You run a good vetting process over there, though. That's a really good program.
But see, so I understand that because, like I said, I have turned down these opportunities. I've had the opportunities. I've turned them down. And then what I will say, the approach or what I get greeted with.
You gotta be honest. No, because we're not about to let you say you turned down these. What type of man are you dealing with that would even present us? Those are corny type of men. So are you attracting cornballs?
This is okay. So when this would happen a lot, I would like to say it was in my early 20s. I didn't have the best vetting process at that time, so possibly. But at the same time, a lot of the time, what they did for work, a lot of them, they were either in the streets. Let's just call it a bean. Let's keep it a spade.
Street niggas got passports?
Yes.
No, they don't.
You don't think? You don't think that men that move packs have passports? I'm sorry, Mike. Are you okay? Okay.
No, they do. I mean,
But according to Mike, they don't.
You talking about drug dealers? Some drug dealers do got passports, and some drug dealers don't. But
Most don't.
Mike will. Do you know where I live? I live in Queens. A Colombian will go ahead and offer me the world and take me to Colombia.
So what
while moving packs.
You dealing with James St. Patrick or something?
Ghost.
These niggas, come
on.
You gotta be honest. These niggas ain't got no money.
So my point is that yes, there was at times finance guys, and there was definitely guys. It was either one of those. At least for me, it was either they worked in finance or they definitely, were in the streets. Right? Cool. I didn't like doing that because I just knew I'm of the mentality similar, even on a smaller scale date. I'm of the mentality that if I cannot take myself there and I cannot pay for it, I'm not going. That's my mentality. Not a lot of women have that mentality.
I thought women's mentality was like use somebody else's money and not theirs.
That too, but listen, I'm very much not that. And sometimes it's a double-edged sword. I'm like, I'm an independent woman that don't need no man kind of thing. But
hate them.
It's either way. But I definitely am the type of person that if I cannot pay my way there, I'm not going. So I can't pay my way over to Turks or whatever. I'm not gonna go. Cause then what? I got stranded, and then this guy just left me out there to fucking die.
I mean,
but there's women that do, and every woman that I know that has done it, they live luxurious lives.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think the women that's doing that shit, they I think they pin themselves in a very high risk chances, but they probably live like a high risk lifestyle. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but do what you do. But don't be shocked when sad things happen. Does my mic sound like shit? Does that mean?
No, you're good, at least to me.
On mine, you sound good too. I don't know why they said that, but hey, you sign up for Patreon, so y'all support the show. Y'all want the show to get better? Support the Patreon.
When we have it out.
So
y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you good.
This is the part that if you guys want to be active in the comments, we call this rapid fire. You throw us something that's in there that you want us to talk about it. We'll talk about it for 90 seconds. Everybody get 90 seconds on it, and you guys can grade or agree with whoever you agree with, and that's how we'll figure out who had the best not argument but dialogue. So if they want to get in the comments, if not, I do have something, but I'll get them a little bit, get them about 30 seconds.
Well, in the meantime, I'm going to read some comments in retrograde. So when we were talking about the previous topic, Maxwell Hawkins said majority of women don't give a fuck about the men they date on a personal level. It's more about what makes them happy. I'm not going to disagree with that. Majority, it's true.
Yeah, because a lot of women are dense.
Yo, you're willing to go ahead and I hope that you put your feet to the fire, Mike.
No, I'm telling you my experience and what a lot of men experience and what Maxwell is saying. A lot of women are very dense. You actually tell me about yourself. Oh, you tell me about your degrees and that's it. And what made you get those degrees? Like that's not telling me about yourself because a lot of women are very dense.
But the thing about it, I look at it is like that's not gonna keep women from doing whole shit. Like the nature of that person gonna come out one way or another. Like, hey,
one way or another, it's true.
They're still gonna do some wild ass shit. You have to look at her sideways and be like, why did I invest my time in this motherfucker? Like for real.
Yeah, I agree.
Are we waiting for the rapid fire comments?
Yeah, so I see no comments. So what I have here, scene kind of goes to, just I think our culture, how we probably aren't the best and, especially black and brown. aren't investing, kind of saving and stuff like that. Joe, what is his name? Fat Joe and Jadakiss. Clearly, I don't listen to this music. Admits rappers live check to check, including
Oh,
themselves, which I found very interesting. They said no rapper should spend $300,000 on
Yeah.
watches, buy designer clothes if it's causing them to live check to check. Prioritizing wants over needs will forever keep people in financial slavery, which I completely agree with. I think a lot of times um, we want to keep up with the Joneses instead of focus on, like, what's best for our future. And I think, I don't think this just applies to rappers. I think it applies to everyday people. That being said, to throw some pushback
hey,
in
let
there.
me get this off mic real quick so they can know what we're talking about.
Go ahead.
Check. You working every day, check to check. We check
Stand
to
up.
check. We buy $300,000 watches, house, homes, and everywhere. We check. That's why you gotta keep working. That's why you gotta keep working. Everybody is so rich. Why they fucking still working? You gotta fucking work. Yeah. You got kids in college. You got all type of shit going on. Yeah. Mortgages. You got car notes. You got shit like. They don't stop. The bills don't stop. The bills keep coming. I don't care. The bills is coming now. The bills is coming now. The train is coming. And so what happens is, I don't care how much money we make. It's almost like shampoo. The shit just slip through your fingers. I'm not safe. No, I'm keeping it real with you. I am not safe with no amount of money. You don't know how many times I made $1 million and that shit was gone in like a month or two. And it's just regular shit. Yo, pay the lawyer, pay your insurance, pay this. Process. Just this, that. And then you turn around and it's like, yo, where's the bread? Yo, bro. Louis Vuitton ain't cheap, bro. All that shit you doing out here looking cute, it ain't cheap. And so there's always a check. I don't care how much money you make. That ain't hip hop, no. That's hip hop.
Yeah, no, he said a lot in there. I think specifically what kind of stood out to me was the fact that, first of all, we all live check to check. We got some bad spending habits, but more importantly, like, things cost too. Like, he gave an example for insurance, right? Everybody got car insurance, home insurance, renters insurance, whatever you got, life insurance more than likely. Um, just the price of insurance that I have, right? My joint used to be 120, right? Over the past year, I think in 2020 it was about 120. Now it's like 265, and I haven't got any accidents. That's just the cost of inflation, which kind of leads me to my bigger point. Yeah, we have bad spending habits, especially the Black and brown community, but it's also inflation. It's also that ideal, and this is why I'm really big against, like, this whole ideal of people like retiring. I never bought into that ideal, because I'm a I'm a pretty conservative spender, but I'm still a spender. So, like, if I'm gonna be spending money, I got to be making money, which is that financial slavery he's saying. But it's kind of part of the issue here too.
All right, so real quick, you got
Go back. I'm sorry. Go.
okay. This is what I wanted to say. This proves that we should not be looking at rappers like the end all be all, and they actually just homie, you work a job. And just because you make enough money to afford an AP, maybe you shouldn't have an AP, because I'll be down if I'm doing all these shows and everything, and I'm living a rap style lifestyle, that I'm not about to drop money on an AP knowing that I'm gonna have to hustle to the next check. And that's life. We all hustling to the next check. Like, no matter
Yep.
how small or big your job is, we're hustling to the next check. But you need that security. If I buy AP and I know I'm out of here and I gotta hustle to that next check, I don't need all that extra stress. That's crazy. It shows you that they just human beings just like us at the same time. They might be making a little bit more money, but they living just like us. Like, bro, ain't no way that y'all got all this shit going on and you saying you living check to check. I don't need to be hearing that from, like, no Fat Joe. He a legend. Or Jadakiss, y'all a legend. That's crazy. It should be more financial wisdom they give it to the community, and they're like, oh no, we live in chick to chick. You gotta hustle and hustle. Hey, we gotta hustle and bustle. But at some point, I'm trying to stop hustling and bustle and, like, just get to the hustle where I don't have to like bustle so hard. Like, hey, I made my money for the day. That's it. Let me chill, relax. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. I'm not buying no fucking AP and I'm assed out until the next month or the next week or the next day. What the fuck?
That's where I think, like, what I was gonna say is that, well, the Keeping Up with the Joneses situation, but it's like they have the saying of like, never meet your heroes. Like, do not meet your heroes. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't need to hear, like you said, I don't need to hear Fat Joe and all of them tell me that they're living check to check. I imagined that already, but I really didn't want to hear that. I didn't need to hear that.
Why
But
didn't you need to hear that?
Mac just said it. Like, you know,
They
you like.
they sell the lifestyle. Like, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and like, who the biggest rapper right now? Little Baby, Gunner, Young Thug. They
They
live in a
live in
certain type
check
of
to check
lifestyle,
too,
right?
though.
And people want to achieve that shit. This supposed to be an illusion. They breaking the illusion. So you telling me that Young Thug and them living check to check with all this money and brand deals they shit don't with then what the brand deal
But
mean?
I personally imagine that, and the reason why I imagine that, but most people don't. Most people don't because they look at it at surface level, and they also don't look at the fact that a lot of these rappers rent their shit. A lot of them, like, you know, most people, screw rappers. Like a lot of people who are celebrities, they rent the things that you see them put on Instagram or whatever,
Houses,
or to get,
cars,
or a PR team is paying them for them to wear that. You know, there's
yeah,
a that's a lot of like things that are done, like, you know, because they're just walking billboards a lot of the time. But the
right.
thing is that what I want to say is, specifically going back to like rappers, I think it's a big reflection of, yet again, lack of financial literacy within our community, and it sucks
Right.
because it's just common sense. But a lot of people, it seems like it should be common sense, but it's not common. Like, there's no way that, obviously, if you're making a certain amount of money, like once you make a certain cap of money, like let's say you're a millionaire, you have to make at least triple, double, whatever the heck it is, to make sure that you have an overhead always. And a lot of these guys, they see the money and they just use it, not realizing that when you have more money, you literally have to make triple the amount of money to keep that, you know, revenue,
To
or to
keep the
keep that
status.
net worth.
Yeah. Like, that shit crazy. Like, bro, I'm not gonna, bro. You say you do 50,000 for one show, right? That people make you making more than most people in one day. Ain't no way you telling me that you live in check to check and you broke and shit like that. That shit, bro. Jadakiss own a coffee company. Like he got a family owned coffee company, bro. Like nobody need to be hearing that
Businesses,
shit. You need
but
to talk about
businesses
that
have,
business.
but to be fair, businesses have expenses too. Like, I mean,
That's true.
I just don't think it's rappers. I think it applies to everyone. I think most people are,
No, I believe it. I believe
most
it's
people are
streamers,
living check to
rappers.
check.
Yeah.
Unless you like the 5 to 10%, most people, after they do their bills and expenses, because you know, um, we. I mean, even if you just think about it, you can start a business. That business might not. That business might break even. I mean, you said he owned a coffee business, but he might be breaking even out of that, and he probably got a lot of expenses. And clearly, rappers. I mean, people too, though. They live. So hey, Cap Cinnamon, bro, Cinnamon, Av. He's hilarious for saying rappers using Afterpay is crazy. That's funny.
No,
Yeah.
I believe it, bro. The way, bro.
That is
Think about
funny.
this. Since we've been living and how the economy going, we didn't had Klarna come out, we didn't have Afterpay come out. Bro, back in the day, we used to have something called Lairway, right? Lairway
Layaway.
disappeared and turned to an app. Not everybody Lairway on Amazon, Afterpay, all this other shit. Bro, you don't need it if you gotta Afterpay it. It's shit crazy. You don't need it.
Nah,
I mean,
I have to. No, I disagree with you there. So I
yeah.
actually, because
Go get my gun. They tripping again.
I look a lot into like sales and stuff like that. Like 80% of people pay stuff on like not Afterpay, but your credit card. You put stuff on your credit card. Most people don't pay for something in like full. Most people just don't do that. That's not the way that
Yeah.
we are like kind of are as consumers now. It's I'd rather put this on 12 months and pay it off, because I think a lot of people. I think that's just the mindset that we're in. That's funny, chill. Um, But no, I thought it was interesting they said that. But I mean, I already knew that. But I was just surprised y'all didn't want to know that. I like when the rappers, they tell us
No,
behind
because
the curtains what's really going on.
but Mike, peep this, right? Imagine you are sports, right? Imagine LeBron,
Yeah.
right? You live in LeBron living pay to pay check. He living check to check, and then you was under the assumption that he pay for everything. He living in his mansion. He living this extravagant lifestyle. But you find out he living check to check. Like, nah, bro. You like that can't be right. Like, what's the cheat code of that? If you got the money, why you not paying your bills like you supposed to? What's the
Hey
cheat
man,
code?
I think a lot of people I think we all got some spending habits that can improve, but also the cost of everything also going up. I think it's a mixture of everything. I would probably say 40% bad spending habits, another 40% just the cost of everything, inflation going up, and another 20% of just even when you still overhead just to run like even if you don't have a business like your house, everything it costs. I mean, everything's just expensive.
Yeah.
So y'all stay
But I guess
safe
like
out here,
also
man.
I guess also with the whole situation with like, the reason why I wouldn't think it's ideal to know that is because you don't want to like the whole like Mike is saying, it's like the whole point of a rapper is like the facade of it, like that's the allure, but unfortunately the allure costs money. Like that lifestyle costs money. I rather them fake the funk as long as they can, like doing like whether it means like,
We can't
okay,
let
I'm
y'all get
renting
that. We
this
can't let
jewelry.
y'all get that off either. Like that whole lure shit, like all that shit. I don't believe in that either because at the end of the day, like calling me Carl Williams is crazy, but like at the end of the day, J. Cole out here riding around, no fancy car. He out here riding around New York City on a bike. So like, I just think it just depends on the rapper, right? Like if you want to try to portray this
Right.
lifestyle, then yeah,
But
but like you don't
but this is the
necessarily.
thing. Like Mac can tell you, Mac can say he's from Houston. Mac, do you feel like a rapper that is a local rapper, right? If he didn't dress fly, if he didn't have grills, if he didn't have whatever, would they look at him different?
No, bro. Bro, Houston is real what's the right word for it? It's like what you present, right? So like let's
Mm-hmm.
say Sauce Walker, right? He got slogans, he acts a certain way, right? He might be different in his personal life, but he acts a certain way with the jewelry, the diamonds, the clothes, all that shit. If that man right there change up and try to be like also conservative shit, we're gonna look at him like, bro, that ain't you because that's the persona you sold. You
Right.
know what I'm
Well,
saying?
see, that's the
It's
problem, and
different.
it's interesting you brought up Houston because I also seen an article this week saying that most people in Houston do like the payday loans, living check to check. So I mean, I like I said, it kind of confirms my point where it goes back to the black and brown community. We gotta stop judging people off what they buying. The most richest people I know in my contacts, they wear bullshit ass shoes. They dress and they're white. Not gonna lie, they sometimes they wear New Balances or they wear those Dockers, and like they just dress like a regular person. Got their clothes from like the thrift store or some shit. So like again, maybe we can look in the mirror. That's my mirror over there, and like really have a come to Jesus moment, and maybe the way we handle our money and stuff like that is part of the problem. That's it.
So you want me to wear the same black turtleneck and like Steve Jobs did?
Yeah, he did wear
Hey
the turtleneck
man,
for a while.
I didn't say that. But I mean, it's some women. Shout out to the women that shop at like the little what do y'all call it? Like the thrift shops and stuff like that. They be doing
I
they
Mm-hmm.
see.
Brooklyn picking it.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
no, they actually
Listen,
go in
I'm
the
a big
store.
thrift girl. Like I love being a crafty girl, but like I hear what you're saying, Mike, but I do
Yeah, I
not
mean,
need to be
if
compared to
wake
like
it
these
up,
white
wake it
people
up.
and have to
If
dress like that to have money.
if you can dress, you can dress. Stop it. I know people who ain't got much money and they be putting that shit on because they know how to dress and
Oh,
color
y'all not
color
going
correct.
to Walmart and dressing up. let's keep it a bean. Y'all not going to Walmart dressing it up.
You probably
Y'all
go to
not going to
Target and get
Target.
something done. Probably go to Target.
Maybe a little bit of Target, but I don't think y'all going to Target either. I ain't never see y'all wear that Goodfellas.
I actually got
feel like
right now.
I feel like you can get away with certain things. I get where you're coming from, Mike. Like, you know, you don't have to like there's no reason for you to go ahead and buy a $400 shirt when that's like a quarter of your fucking pay every 2 weeks. Like, there's no reason for that shit.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because that was one of the things I also seen as a rapid fire question before we get to this life advice. It was a guy. He said he bought a designer shirt. I forgot which brand it was, but it was like $22,000, and he's paying like $150 a paycheck for a shirt.
Nah.
So I'm just saying that he's like, I think he was like 20 years old, but like, come on, bro, you paying $150. How many times you think you're gonna be able to wear that shirt by the time you pay it off?
And how much does he get paid?
I don't know. They didn't have his pay and job information and Social Security on the
Well,
post.
I'm telling you, why we on t-shirts.
I would have scammed him.
I'm telling you why we on t-shirts. Desto Dub in Houston right now, right? I'm not talking down on Desto Dub. I'm not. I just think the Houston economy a little different, and he might make the change. I might be wrong about this, but I asked for a t-shirt, right? The t-shirt was $150. Graphic on the front, graphic on the back, like a full graphic, like from the top to the bottom, right? $150. I went back another day. They had like a discount going. They had some more shirts going for $75. I feel like that's not feasible for the common person for a t-shirt. I'm like, nah, ain't no way. But at the same time, Awful Lot Concert is a designer brand, so I can't knock the hustle.
No, I got you. I feel you. So we do got
because of the fact I'm just thinking it's a local brand, but do people like kind of like does it go up? Like, does his value go up because of the fact that, you know, people around are wearing, because like, you know, are wearing it? Because $75 for not like, it's not like a household name brand. You know what I'm saying? This is like a local brand. Like that's a big deal. That's a lot of money. So I'm just trying to understand, do people like how does that work for them?
I mean, from what I heard, the reception in the city right now, they not really too much on the t-shirts because that's kind of expensive. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you got to think about where he come from. He come from LA. He come from No Jumper. You know what I'm saying? They might was buying that shit over there in LA like it wasn't nothing. Out here, we like, hold up, 75 for a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know. Yeah. Nah, we buy like leather jackets and shit like that. That makes sense for like, 300, 200, something like that. But not no goddamn t-shirt. Like, nah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I just needed to know that, like, if they get some kind of clout, or if it's like, because that's the only way that I can justify. I mean, I like supporting small businesses.
Guess how much the pants cost?
200.
300. You almost had it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And these pants, all they say is cost on the front of them. But I ain't gonna lie. Hey, it's cool. It's fly.
It's quality. Is it quality?
It's quality. It looked like quality to me. I touched it and felt it. It's quality, but it just like
it's a high.
It's like Chanel and Louis Vuitton. Like you, like, come on, bro. You're not about to really pay that shit for not no shirt and pants. Not the shit we do out here in Texas. They go ATV riding. They go mudding. They be in the streets selling crack. They ain't wearing. I mean, they might just the crack people might be selling me wearing that shit. But other than that, they ain't really doing all that crack shit in that shit.
No, that's a fact.
Got it. Yeah. I'm not gonna go ahead. I love supporting brands like that, but it's like sometimes it's like they to me it's like you gotta humble yourself. You gotta.
I mean, he been doing it for a long time too.
I ain't saying you gotta humble yourself, but you have to be realistic of who your market is. That's what it is.
Yeah,
like,
women gotta be realistic, he gonna figure it out. Who their market is.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Mike?
No, I was just saying realistic. I just wanted to bring home my point that women got to be realistic too. I think everybody in life has to be realistic. Being realistic is one of the most attractive things about people in the world.
Yeah. What did you
Go ahead.
I was like trying to find. I feel like there was something on the docket that we are missing. Crap.
Oh yeah, I mean we did vacations, we did the meeting, boom, boom.
We have a lot actually that we haven't touched on. Why, Mike? Why did you present "Fuck You, Me and Kobe's wife pregnant"?
Oh, we ain't got all the facts of that yet.
Yeah, we ain't got all the facts of that yet, so I don't want to speak on none that ain't. I don't know if
But
that's
hold up,
true.
real quick. Let me talk about this one. Alabama man says before going to prison, he left his girlfriend $58,000, a house, 2 cars, but came home to find her broken. Living in the projects. Now hold up here. I got a lot to say about here. Hold up. If I've been selling crack, fucking drugs, fucking all this time, I finally get caught up. And bitch, I leave you 2 houses, some cars, and I come back and find my kids and your ass in the projects. You out, you gone. You have no financial literacy. Who are you today? Who is the person I laid up with? Bitch, you ain't shit.
I gotta ask you a question though. Like, what made you thought she was gonna have financial literacy?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I done did some things in life, you know what I'm saying? And anybody I'm around, I try to teach to do better than I am, you know what I'm saying? So like, let's keep it real. If it's somebody I'm involved with, so shit, somebody I'm sticking my meat in, I'm in the box and all that shit. Like, bro, I'm trying to give you the best possible outcome to say, because if something happened to me, that you can stand on your own 2 legs, like Gucci Man gal did, and uplift the business, uplift the household, do some real shit out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the world right now. How the fuck you fuck that up, man? You was nothing but fuck. What?
I think what I was gonna say. Do you want to blame this on BDM, bad dick management?
No, you can't say that. It's not bad dick management. Is
Why
that
not?
no, the true question is in this subject is, did he really teach her? Was she just being a housewife, or did he really teach her the game? Because the thing about it is, if you know one day you're gonna get caught up and you buying all these things and everything, you need to teach them the game so they can learn how to maintain while you're gone. Because they'll take you, they coming for you. They know you lame. But their significant other, they don't know what she capable of. Like, bro, you gotta teach her the game so she can do her thing.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta teach her the game, Ghost. Wake it up.
Teach me the game goes.
Yes, bro.
I just
Maybe
need to
how we
know
fail.
where was the fall from grace? Do we have any more details? Like, how the hell did she go? Like, what was she doing? Did she start doing crack herself? Like, what's going
No.
on?
Hey, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the article because it's only on Twitter. I mean, it's just an article, but I'm pretty sure he ain't do too much of nothing. I pretty much it's just like, hey, he said what he said, and she came back living in the projects. I know he cried when he came back home. Like, look at that. I know he cried when he came back home. He looked like he cried.
He looked like he cried.
Look
Wait,
at him.
is the
He
red
looked like he
before
cried
or
when
the
he came back
after? I'm
home.
trying to understand. Is the red before or the after? The
Man,
red
I ain't.
car.
You see it, Pixie?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. If I was in the position as like a guy, I don't know, man. I would crash out. I'm not gonna lie. She goofy for that, but I'm getting my shit back in blood. I don't know. Somebody
No,
gonna have to pay up.
you
What
can't
do you
get
mean
that
you
back in
getting it back in
blood.
blood? What do you mean by
You
that?
can't get that back in blood.
Her brother, her uncle, somebody is gonna get it back to me if I'm the
What's
man.
that
No.
gonna do?
First of all, most I love my people. I'm not saying nothing wrong here. Y'all know most people is not financially literate to get back 2 houses. 2 houses. She said she had 2 houses. Bro, y'all can't get 1. You want to get back 2? Man, stop it. Stop it.
I'm
No,
mad
that's
for this
fact.
man. I don't even know this guy. Like, I'm so upset for him. Like, I'm looking at the post, by the way. Was looking at the post, and people were like I'm just trying to get some further context, and yeah, Somebody said 58,000 will get you 6 months. While he acting like it's supposed to get you by for years.
That's what I mean. That point is kind of valid, though.
Cars require maintenance. They break down. If somehow it's somehow supposed to last you years. Same with a home. It requires maintenance. All
We
right, so
also
that's
don't know.
a
We also don't know if Shorty had a doctor's bill or something like that. It's a lot
so,
of context. But what I would say is, I'm taking it as the assumption that Shorty worked or has some other type of source of income. But
right,
to
that's
the
what I was about
extent,
to say. Like,
yeah,
is she like? Because there's many of times that women don't always. They can't match they can't be equally yoked up, right? Let's say guy
so
is
if
the one
y'all
who
don't
was
want to be
really.
equally yoked up, why y'all be asking for equal opportunity,
Let's not move the goalposts.
equality in the relationship?
Let's not move the goalposts. We're not talking about that. I'm trying to focus on this. I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
he
that
obviously
makes
was the
sense.
one
Do
who
it.
was. He was the one who was yoked up, right? It sounds like to me like she might have not been as yoked up, and even though he left her 58, what the hell was that supposed to do? Like you said, she ran into some expenses that and also like certain maintenance. I think that he should have budgeted, or he should have seen how much does it take, or how much each, like, to maintain the assets that he has, right? Because it didn't say if it was fully paid for, these houses. They didn't say if he was still paying a mortgage, if he still had to pay insurance. That 58,000 is not going to run you much.
I wouldn't say not run you much. I mean, that's still, for most people, that's like a year worth of salary. That should at least take care of your housing needs and food. But
So is it going to
like,
pay for them?
I'm taking it as like, yo, maybe she had uh she's probably poor with money. Maybe she had some unexpected bills and she got kind of screwed over. That being said, a smart young lady would have been able to flip that bread, but I wouldn't
That's true.
use her and smarter in the same sentence. So,
Hey man, I'm just keep it like this, bro. This topic is kind of like open to like a lot of variables, and
Yeah,
I get the fun in it, but like I just feel like in my heart she fucked up.
yeah,
Her daddy couldn't save her. Her cousins couldn't save her. We can't go get the money back because we have to go kill the whole family after that. But bro, she just fucked the bag
as
up,
I said, I
bro.
would get it back in blood.
No, let's keep it real. Like she just fucked the bag up, and I don't know if she had a job or not, or she like, or did he even give her the game? But at the end of the day, he lost everything due to a person he trusted because they couldn't do what he thought they could do. He put hope in somebody that they just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't got the hustle mentality. Maybe she just wasn't a hustler. Maybe she just a princess, and that was it.
That's what I was going to say too. Like, that's what I meant by equally yoked. Like, if she, princess treatment, Mike, don't you believe in, like, not having your women work and all that kind of stuff?
I also wouldn't go to prison though.
Touche.
So I
Touche.
mean, it's context behind everything, right?
Right,
True.
right.
Touche. That's why I said you're a wholesome young man. You're right. You're not wrong.
No, I'm just a traditional man, and we need more traditional men. We
He
need to
said,
get back to the traditional way that we used to live, more than likely, instead of this progressive bullshit that you guys are spilling into the earth. Shout out to the traditionals, fist in the
hey,
air.
I tell women every day, hey, you need a man. You need a man, no
Yeah,
matter how
they
little
think
you
they can
want.
do it by themselves. That's all right though.
Mm-mm.
Bruh,
Mm-mm.
somebody, bro, you want to hear something funny? Somebody asked me somebody asked me on their car how to put air in a tire. I said, nigga, you don't need a car. The fuck?
Hey,
I hate when somebody doesn't know how to do shit like that about that. Gets me upset. Upsets me. It upsets me. What do we have anything else on the docket? Oh, y'all comments. Y'all were supposed to give us rapid fire. What's going on?
yeah, we
I was
got
coming.
one last
Yeah,
thing
my
because
advice coming right now.
we got a hard out. So I had a life advice that we got sent. Y'all can send if y'all got some life advice. Y'all can send it anonymous. Y'all can use like a fake email if you want me to know. I actually know this person. What's the email again? It's really not a fair game. Is it an LLC on there?
Yes, it's not a fair game.
LLC.
LLC at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
At
If
Gmail.
y'all
Yep.
want to see any life advice, y'all can send it that way. That this might get it now while it's good because I might switch to Patreon. Just let y'all know.
No, I'm with you on there. But so I got a life advice. So I know the guy. Usually in the life advice, I tell people, give me your height at least, right? So I can, because again, I think some of those play a lot of variables. If you're black or white, right? And what city you came from. I can get a pretty good
The height is
idea of,
important.
yeah, the height is very important. So Brandon, 6'4". I live in Wisconsin now, Mike. We went to school together.
Oh
College.
shit!
Said Mike, my girl went to the club. Hold on. Let me read this. This dude got so many errors in this. He said,
Hey,
Mike,
it's bad news. Girl went to the club.
BTS.
yeah,
Down bad.
he said my girl went to the club and with her friends for a birthday party. And I went with her. Well, I surprised them and went with her and bought them birthday shots. When I came in the bar, I noticed her and her friends was with a couple of former NBA players. He says it looks like before I got there, the guy sent over a couple of bottles. He said I never experienced that before in my life. I feel very disrespected and unappreciated considering the fact that I came there and bought her friends 3 shots for her friend's birthday. He asked us, should I approach her about it and tell her how I really feel, or should I just let it go?
Man, he might as well just let it go because it's gonna be some bullshit. And the second of
Charges to
all,
the game.
she was with y'all. She was an NBA player, just right,
Former.
bro. She not your girl, bro. She not your girl. Let her go.
Hold on.
Save yourself, King.
Hold on. We gotta act. So it sounds like the guys sent over a couple of bottles to, and we don't even know if they sent bottles over to because he didn't add, but I know one of the girls he's talking about. She's single. The girl whose birthday, because I seen her shit on Instagram. She's single, but I know. Should he feel away because they just sent the bottles? Like, because then I don't know if I agree with that either.
Nah. I mean, no, you can't do nothing. Because in the message he said he surprised his girl, so he entered a situation unknowingly, knowing there was some bullshit going on.
That's his girl?
It's not his. It's his. So his girl's friends. It was her birthday. They went to a club, and it sounds like basically a couple of guys, and he surprised them too. They didn't know he was coming, but it sounds like a couple of guys that I guess was played in NBA or whatever sent over a few bottles to them.
Okay.
But it wasn't his girl's birthday. She just part of her friend's birthday entourage.
So he's just.
You know
why
what?
are you trying to police another girl's pussy?
Huh?
How's that policing? I think he feels like. I think it's for the act because it sounds like that she didn't mention that to him, and he probably came to the club. I'm kind of picturing the scene myself. I never been in that situation, but he probably came to the club and he probably seen 2 guys that he probably played 2K with or whatever, and was like, "Oh, these guys are in a club and they had bottles." He's buying shots, right? So it's a difference between I'm buying, my shorty and her friends some shots, and these niggas that sent 2 bottles. It's like, where you get these 2 bottles from? And like the shorty, I'm assuming the shorty birthday didn't have any other guys there.
You know what? Now you put in that perspective.
Yeah.
He went to go see some shit he didn't need to go see.
Exactly. He's looking for it.
He's
looking
How
for
was he
it.
looking for it?
He
When
looking
he was
for
just
it.
trying to surprise her, though.
He was trying to surprise her, but this is not even. It's not even her birthday. I would have understood if it was his girl's birthday, and he's mad at that. This is the home girl, and nah, man, you're policing other bitches' pussy. I hate when men do that. It's not your girl; it's your girl's friend. Leave her alone. You can only control your broad.
No,
That's it.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. It sounds like some of y'all saying he sound insecure. It sounds like he probably thought his girl was and his girl's cute, by the way, but he probably thought his girl was like more or less like the cool, cute chick. But then some other niggas seeing her and her friends are like, "Ooh, shit, these some baddies," and he ain't know what to do. Because you got to think about it from his perspective. if I'm a former NBA player, right? Why the fuck am I trying to hit on some regular chicks? Like he probably thinking that his friend, well, his girl and her friends was just like, regular, obviously cute, but like not no IG baddies, especially if they're attracting like, some former ball players and shit. Shout out to Brandon.
So oh man, Brandon, I don't know, man. That's don't go surprising homegirl next time. I'll tell your girl to stay home.
So hold on. So I just want to clarify.
This
coming from a woman. I don't want you to speak for every woman, but you saying a man should not go buy his girlfriend and friends shots for their birthday. Is that what you're saying?
No.
Because that's what it sounds like what you just said to me. That's
no. What I'm saying, that's fine. I'm saying though, he getting upset, right? That the girls got attention or got these guys going ahead and, because I'm pretty sure this is exactly what happened. These ex-NBA players just so happened to be in the spot. Her and her homegirls were all chilling, whatever. They go ahead and see a bunch of pretty girls like, you know what? Let me go ahead and, it's her birthday, bet. Let me send some bottles. You know what I mean? That's the move. Let me send some bottles. So, but it's not let me send some bottles because it's his girlfriend's birthday. Let me send some bottles to the other girl who is it's her birthday.
No,
she just so happens to be in the group.
I ain't even gonna hold you, gang. I ain't gonna hold you.
What was she supposed to do? Listen.
I'm gonna tell you what she was supposed to do.
Brittany, don't know.
If it's my bitch and she sees some random niggas that sending her friend bottles, you know what she should say? She should call her nigga and be like, yo, come pick me up. These hoes on some hoe
That's
shit.
exactly what I'm saying. But that's what I said. That's why I said, why is he trying to control another woman's pussy? That's not his.
I think he's disappointed at the fact that she didn't tell, because he didn't add a lot of context to this email, but he was saying, from what it seems like, he was mad that the girl didn't say. He probably asked the girl like, "Hey, where do you guys get the bottles from?" And maybe she wasn't truthful. I'm trying to figure out why. Maybe she wasn't truthful, but maybe she didn't want the nigga to be in.
No, man, come on, like Mike, you in the club, you so happen to be in the club. It happens a lot of the time. It'll be Mixie in there. All of a sudden, these guys.
I wouldn't know. None of my bitches go to the club anymore.
As somebody who has been in the club in the past, and when I do go to the club, and Mac will know what I'm talking about. Mac, you outside at times. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you'll be in a local spot. It's a popping spot. It just so happens to be that somebody pulls up. There's a bunch of pretty girls. One of them has a birthday. They're all cute. You know what? I'm going to send some bottles.
All right.
It's that simple. It's not any deeper than that.
No,
it doesn't matter. Listen, I'm so sorry that man that works at the local Jiffy Lube, unfortunately, he felt the way. It's not. I'm not saying that that's your guy. I'm just saying, like, you can't feel a way. It's not like.
So why you invalidating his feelings? Because that's what you're doing right now.
I'm saying this. It's not.
No, Pixie, because he went and bought her friends some shots. I went there to buy your bald head ass friends some shots and shit, and now I see them getting bottles from some random nigga that's a former NBA player. No, fuck that. Call me. We can get these hoes these shots and we can leave. We not doing this whole shit with them.
So is he mad that she stayed, or is he mad that the girls took the bottles?
I think he's more disappointed in that. I think he's more disappointed at the fact that she didn't tell him where the bottles come from. I want to call this up. She'll be free.
I don't think, maybe she just didn't know. She didn't know until it would happen at that same time. That's what I'm saying. It's not like, I'm pretty sure it's not like they rolled in with them. It's that it happened. He pulled up. They're like, oh, wow, those pretty girls are cute. It's her birthday, homegirl's birthday. Let me go ahead and send some bottles. That's it. They probably didn't even have a conversation for real. That's why I'm like confused.
Yeah, some of y'all in the comments, I don't agree with what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about, tell your mans to get his money up and not his funny up. No, that's the problem with some of you niggas, but we gonna get into that the next episode. Appreciate you guys coming through. Like, subscribe. If you think the content's cool, if you think the content cool enough where someone else may enjoy it, share it to them. If you like, you can follow us on Twitter. My Twitter again is Mike Will TV ENT. Pixie, go ahead.
My Twitter is at ShadeMasterFlex. You can follow me there. Mac?
It's your boy Mac Bricks. Follow me on Twitter, Boomy Trill Figure, Diamond His Hill Figure. It's Mac Bricks. Hey, this is what I need y'all to do. Hey, today's topic, hey, y'all post with y'all, hey, hashtag it's not a fair game LLC. We want to see what y'all talking about. We want to see what's on y'all mind from these points of this podcast. I'm gonna leave it up for 24 hours, so I'll take it back down on Twitter. I need to see them points. And hey, we're gonna talk about it. Hey, you might get invited to the Discord, you never know. Holler at us.
Yeah. And follow the YouTube and Spotify too. So yeah, appreciate you guys.
Oh, and what's the email again? Just so then we can drop it in for the next.
Matter of fact, we're gonna chill on that. Matter of fact, I can say it. It's not a fair game LLC, but the one I want y'all to use, go to @protonmail.com. Don't use the Gmail. Please don't use the Gmail because I don't need that one to get flooded right now. Just don't use the Gmail. Use the proton.mail.
All right. See you guys next week.